Ozark Hills in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only. They are millennials and Gen Z, and this is a new update of age-old prejudice.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
It's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out.
You don't let everyone into your home.
Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And while the men do the physical labor, the women take care of the children who live here full time. It could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do.
You might be wondering how any of this can be legal. Return to the Land is structured as a private members association, which they believe allows them to discriminate on the basis of ethnicity, along with other factors. That has yet to be tested in the courts and may well fail. The Arkansas Attorney General has said his office is now reviewing the matter as a result of our reporting, and that there is no room for racial discrimination in Arkansas or anywhere in a free society.
Okay, yeah, but in Arkansas, you can fuck your family member. But at the same time, I do.
I'm not advocating for that. I'm not. But it does go to show how polarized everyone has become. And some people are just going, oh, we blame these people and we're going to get away from it. I think everyone's lost their minds, whether it be Roblox, whether it be politics, whether it be the people doing the video games, whether it be the programmers doing the open source now, the tabletop games like D&D, everybody. I don't know what is it that's driving people insane?
The planted division, the attacks, the psychological warfare from every side, where you don't even know anymore who really are the enemies.
Triple J Jr. is right. People of color, pox, are always allowed to make their own communities. Why can't white people? That is true. I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Technically, they do that in America. I mean, they do that in Africa.
There will be black neighborhoods, but dare you, as a white person, you make your neighborhood and say, "Hey, come on, leave us alone."
Well, and I guarantee
you are an issue.
I guarantee you that if you just show up with white skin and you're a meth head or a crackhead, you're also probably not going to be welcomed into that community.
Because
well,
one you got white skin,
it looks
but
like
you're
more of a. I think you're right.
It's more about values.
I can kind of understand where they're coming from, even though I would not be welcomed in that community. I fully agree with their right to do it, but at the same time, that's a very slippery slope, because
that's true.
Anytime one group of people wants to segregate themselves away from the herd, so to speak, they're easy pickings for everything else.
Correct.
Also, extremism will grow and grow and grow, and they will start drawing lines, divisive lines between themselves.
We all start our own colonies and start trading.
Hey, welcome to Goon Room.
Hi, Mikey.
Hey, Mike.
But
there will be gooning.
If people would get rid of this color thing and just realize that it's a cultural thing, then that's what needs to happen.
Also, if I were to start a community like that, I wouldn't say, "Oh, it's just for white people."
Yeah.
I would say it's for sane people.
Number one, that's bad marketing.
I don't know if you would call it politically agnostic or what's the best way to phrase it? I don't know.
I'd say sane is pretty on the target.
The only problem with
Well,
those
that's the thing.
communities.
Everyone thinks they're sane. That's where the problem is.
That is true.
Well, yeah,
Well,
the
yeah.
only problem about those communities is one thing is that you have to work. Okay.
Yeah.
That might not be a problem really, but honestly, humans are lazy. Some of us are, especially in this generation. There are a lot more people who are lazy. So you can't have lazy people in those communities because everyone has to work.
Yep.
And another thing is what I something else I don't agree with in that community is they expect the women to take care of the children and all that stuff. Which now sometimes that's okay. Sometimes some women are better at that than doing manual labor. But what if you get this woman in there and she's just really not good with children, but she's good at doing the manual labor stuff? You know, I think they should give everybody a
No
fair shot.
absolutes. No absolutes, essentially.
Yeah.
I would say they would probably be
Absolutes are
sent as
always
a gatherer because they said that women are
Yeah,
not
that's
just
what I was
doing the
thinking.
nurturing, they're doing the gathering as well. So that they will probably put her to those sort of work or go cleaning and stuff like that. Or she'll be kicked out. Like I said, those communities run by you have to work.
Yeah.
You will
Okay,
do
look,
whatever work we tell you to.
let's say a long running, I don't know, decades long, valuable family of the community, but one of them takes ill and they get to where they can't do anything. And there's sudden draw on the whole small community. But the rule is if you can't make it, if you can't do the work, get the fuck out. So
That would depend on the medicine. How much? See, this is going by like more of a communism sort of situation as well, because that's roughly what it is for small communities. Technically, that's what it is.
essentially
But
equates
but
to
it go,
communism,
yeah, because it only works for that sort of size. But the thing is that it depends on how much. Okay, how much medicine is that sick person's going to get is what it will come down to as well. Maybe not. They might be, they might just say, well, we'll give them whatever antibiotics and all that sort of stuff. But majority probably would be more of if they're a drain and taking them too much medication, there might be a part where that person goes missing.
And this is where we're getting
like
back
this all.
into the decisions that the globalists are trying to decide for society at large.
Yeah. Like,
no,
should we
no,
kill the herd, make them all sick, or just get rid of the sick so we're a strong people, or make them all sick and see who survives, and those are the strong ones, they'll build a better future? How are we going to play this? It's kind of like that.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure that's what it was like back in the 1400s and all that sort of stuff as well.
Well, what's interesting about that community is it's a very interesting social and economic
Wait, look,
experiment.
I honestly think that Jeffrey here is the most knowledgeable on this, so I want to give him the stage for a minute. If you got something to say on it.
Well, like I said, I think that everybody should have the right to be able to do that. You should be able to gather with, say, a group of your friends, come up with an objective charter of what kind of a community that you want to form, what your goals are, and then, gather like-minded people in order to build that community. And as far as I think that's the sticking point that they're picking racism is the globalists do not want people to do this. So they'll pick out racism as a tool to use to attack this community and just try to demonize it and say, but that's not what they don't want them to do. They don't care if they're racist. They just don't want them living independently from society.
I'm 100% with that one. And I wanted to, you talked about if someone gets sick and then they take too much resources and they will be kicked out because Valkyria said, you need to work in this community. Of course you need to work. But on the other hand, communities like that are different than our world. They will care for their elders. If you grow old in this community, you will be cared for and looked after by family and your community instead of fucking dying in a fucking old folks home, looked by people who fucking don't give a shit about you, and your fucking kids visit maybe once a year. That shit would be reversed in such communities too. In my opinion, it should be like this. We should go back from this bullshit.
I probably should
we're
really
all
more
overworked. We're overworked
clarify
trying to pay the
that.
bills
Well,
and
I was going to say,
taxes.
I probably should clarify on what I mean is that depending on the group's nurturing, I guess, would probably be better. If they're more kind and all that sort of, yeah, then fine, yes, they probably will. But again, you got to remember, we're humans, okay? There's no pure good. There's no pure evil as well. Yes, there's evil within us, and some of us
I
can get
disagree.
very
You're
no,
both a
but there's not
believer and
pure.
you
There's no
disagree.
pure of any of them. We're both. We can be really bad. We can be really good.
But with a community, you can have a goal.
Well,
And if the goal is going back to the natural ways, living in a more natural environment, I would claim that the family structure and the 3 generation up to 4 generation household is coming back as it was, and that's something we lost. That's really important because I saw this growing up. Not in my immediate family because we lived in the city, but when we are visiting our grandma, I saw this, and
Well,
that's
and
a beautiful thing to behold.
keep in mind too that the artificial scarcity that we see in society today, because all of the resources are flowing upward, would not
Of course.
exist in a society like that. So all the work that the community puts into its resources would be much more abundantly returned to that community.
Mm-hmm. I don't see in this. I see issues at this community. Of course, you can criticize some things, but I don't see someone at the top getting all the shit, and everyone else has to make do with less. I didn't
It
see that.
depends on people.
I
Of
remember
course, it
when I was a kid and my great grandmother was alive, and then my great grandmother and my grandmother and my mother and then her kids, and there was that many generations all together. I remember that. And I would hear stories about the 1920s or even the 1800s, but I see people now, like, if it wasn't around before 2000, they are like, it's alien to them. They've never heard of such a concept. They can't wrap their head around it. They know of no references before their time. They don't know how to use anything before their time. I don't know how this happened, but it has most definitely happened.
Yeah,
basically, what these people
there
have
is.
created is a commune. That's
Yeah,
what
Well,
it is.
to a certain
if
degree.
if we were back in the 200s, 2000s, okay, early 2000s, I probably wouldn't have the same, viewpoint of what I just said, because a lot of the time is well, also I'd be like, what the hell are you thinking as well for this community? But again, back then as well, we didn't really look at color like we do nowadays. Okay,
Yeah,
we weren't so massively divided at all. We were, everyone was semi get along. Yes, I'm not going to say everyone because there was still, bits here and there, but it wasn't as massive as it is
it
now.
was the exception, not the rule. I grew
And
up without racism.
a
It
side
was
note
not a
on
thing.
what I last said, my great grandmother and all of them were still alive. My grandfathers, they generally died by 60. And for everybody going, oh, they want to live like a man. A man's got it so easy. A man, blah 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 blah. No, men die young. There's a reason for that.
And they probably lived more of a life than most people do today.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
that's definitely true.